So we've got a fire here at your building, the corner of Moeller Road and 86th Street. It's a pretty large fire.
It was almost something out of a movie. Fire trucks everywhere, hoses everywhere.
The first guys on site were actually our technicians, and it was dark. They were still here at midnight with the fire department. It was pretty much devastation. It was a large explosion, started on the second floor, so we had the storefront windows, brick, metal was bent and twisted from the heat.
The very first step was make sure we can get board up services, and that's when we called Michaelis, to get the building secured, and then started getting security on site because we had 22 tenants with an open building now with all their personal and business belongings, business assets at risk.
We had a couple of things that indicated that there was something going on here. We had some equipment failures that our IT people saw, and then our branch manager actually got a notice that the fire alarm was going off.
The explosion had warped the I-beams and it was structurally unsound, so we couldn't even get the forensics investigation team in safely and securely until we got that addressed. So safety and shoring was really the name of the game for 2 to 3 weeks.
Michaelis was going through cleaning up after the fire. It was obvious there was structural damage, and then there was damage to all the systems. So we had to decide what had to be torn out and what could stay to be reused. A big portion of what we all had to do in this case was deal with the local and the state agencies.
The elements were pouring in for 4 months. We had to begin by getting that roof fixed. To do that, we had to get permits in place, which during the COVID outbreak has not been an easy process. We had problems with fabrication plants closing down because of the virus. That delayed us to actually getting the building under roof until June.
Because of the timing and the degree of structural damage on this building, we had to fast track the project, permit small parts of it so that some parts could get going while we were still designing other parts.
We had to get it completed in 5.5 months because of insurance regulations. We had to stack a lot of our contractors, and at one given time, there maybe were 6 or 7 in here, and then in June we had to start the mitigation process because the nature of soot that it just permeates the entire structure, this being a steel and bar joist building, it was everywhere. So to get rid of that, we had to employ a technique called ice blasting. It's like sandblasting, but only using dry ice particles in order to dislodge that. It dislodges it, and then you have to clean up afterwards. We had to get rid of the rust that had built up because of the 4 months of water infiltration too. Then we were able to get in and paint the facility with a primer coat and then a shellac. When we got that final phase done, we were ready for construction, putting the bones back in of electrical, HVAC, and the structural component of the walls.
Our role was to do the plumbing for the facility. So, obviously we had a pretty blank slate from what we were working with, items that are kind of specialized for health safety. So touchless faucets, water fountains that are bottle filling water fountains. We got to update a lot of the water, the drainage, and things of that nature. We also got to update some of the code stuff. When you walk it, it feels like a new building. It's bright, it's white, it's there's a lot of modern touches to it, and it's a fantastic facility.
Except for 4 walls and 2 concrete slabs, it's literally a brand new building inside and out. So it's fantastic. We're excited to get it leased back up again focusing on small and medium-sized businesses and entrepreneurs.
It's extremely exciting. Since we had been here 20 plus years, this building was ready for some updates. Our space was ready for some updates. And we're just really looking forward to continuing to be an anchor in this building for hopefully another 20 years.
It's a good feeling, a good sense of closure. There wasn't much doubt that we would rebuild it. It was a matter of, could we rebuild it? Could we come on time and on budget and on schedule? And having a partner like Michaelis and their subcontractors and their professional services made all the difference, especially this year in 2020.